If you are struggling to lose those extra pounds after childbirth, or you're generally enthused about losing weight for health, beauty, or any other reasons, then stay tuned, because in today's video, I'm going to share how I lost 16 kg in 3 months after 2 major stressful events in my life. Kindly stay to the end, and I hope that you learned something new from today's video, and also be assured that your body is so precious and is capable of healing itself with proper care. I'm also going to do a live demo in today's video whilst I'm weighing myself. Hello, my name is Dr. Lordination. I am a science researcher. I am a mom to 2 beautiful girls. I love to cook, I love to dance, and I love to sing. Do you know why? Because I think I express myself better doing those things. I love to spread positivity through my videos, and I also love to smile. You are welcome to the channel. So this is me right after giving birth. I was weighing around 80 kg. And this is also me a year after giving birth, and I still had the weight on, although I tried several ways to lose that weight. Now, these are some of the pictures from July 2024. That is 3 months after I decided to lose weight. And I hope you see the difference between them. Before I even go into the details of what I did to gain this transformation, let me tell you why I gained the weight and also why it was really urgent for me to lose weight. So 2 major events took place in my life between January 2020 and now, which is 2025, as at the time I'm making this video. One is when I started my PhD here in the UK, and the other is I was making a baby. And you know how giving birth has an impact on a woman's body. Yes, I gained a lot of weight because of the stresses I went through. Why I decided to lose weight is very simple. I was generally out of breath after minimal tasks. Naturally, I am a very active person, and anybody that knows me will testify that I am very active in the lab, running around, going up and down all the time. So it became a problem for me when I realized that I was always weak and tired and out of breath after doing any simple activity. At the time, I was also preparing for my PhD graduation in July 2024. So you know why I really wanted to lose the weight? Yes, because I wanted to wear my beautiful Ghanaian kente dress. So aside from all these reasons which compelled me to lose weight, I know you also have some of your reasons why you really want to lose weight. But for me, it was because of my health, because I was unwell and weak all the time. But let me tell you a story. One day I was coming back from work. I was in a bus. I had a call from a friend in Ghana. It was a video call. So I picked up the call. I said hello. And then the person just said, "It's a guy, by the way." The person just said, "Hey, Ekwa, why? What are you eating? What's happening? You look so big." I was really down. And do you know how it feels to as a lady, to hear those words from a guy? I really felt bad, and that was it for me. That was the last straw. I decided there and there that I was going to lose this weight. So I decided to lose this weight in May 2024. So now, enough of everything. Let's get straight into business. Let me tell you some of the things I did. So the first thing I did is to renew my mind, is to have a goal and to have a purpose. This is because the mind is very important. Think about all the negative impacts that maybe the weight is having on your body. For me, it was my health, because I was, as I said, generally tired and weak. So think about all the negative effect that is having on your body, on your health, and then just decide in your heart, your soul, your body, whatever, and say, I am losing this weight. But that doesn't stop there. You need to have a goal. So you want to treat this as a mini project. Yeah, it's a mini project. At least that's how I took it. It was a mini project for me. So I had the start date, which was May 2024. I wanted to achieve this before August. So I wanted to achieve this in July 2024. So I had 3 months to do this, and I was weighing 79.5, and then I wanted to get to 65 kg, you know? So you need to have your target goal or your target weight that you want to achieve. While that is done, then you need to think of what you want to do within the period to achieve this goal. So because it's a project, then we need to have some objectives. So some of the objectives are going to be the things I will be talking about that we are going to put into practice. It's a mini project. Let's treat it at that. Make sure to stay to the end because I'm also going to share some bonus tips aside the 7 things I'm going to talk about. You know that before you embark on any project, you need to do your search. So I started to read. I had already done some reading on intermittent fasting and its various forms. I had also done some readings on calorie deficits and calorie restrictions. I've done some reading that said that there was a link between intermittent fasting and weight loss and metabolic health. Regardless, I think it's important that you consult your medical practitioner whenever you are doing anything that is going to have any drastic effect on your body. Good enough, I was already in contact with my medical doctor because, as I said, I was already not feeling well. The second thing I did was to remove sugar as much as possible from my diet. They're just high in empty calories and lack nutrients such as proteins and carbohydrates. So I cut down on all forms of sugar. I was not putting sugar in any food I was eating. If I needed to have any sweetness in the food, then I would replace it with fruits like strawberry, and even I cut down on banana because, although fruits are very good, but you also want to choose wisely because some of the fruits are very sugary, like banana. I also know that the final breakdown of carbohydrates is glucose, which is actually sugar. Yeah, so to make sure that I'm reducing as much as possible sugar in my diet, I also reduce my carbohydrates intake by reducing the portion sizes. I am a Ghanaian and I must confess that most of our foods are carbohydrate rich. Yes, so to make sure that my weight loss is sustainable, yet I'm not losing out on all my sumptuous Ghanaian meals, which I will be sharing on the platform, I decided to reduce my portion sizes, but rather fill up with veggies. And that will take me to my next point. Eat more vegetables. Love vegetables as if you love your phone. I know most people can't go a day without their phones. Yes, I know you are part. Are you? Just eat more vegetables as much as you love your food. They are very important. Most of them are low in calories, but they can also be a good source of fiber and other minerals and vitamins. So make sure you are filling up your plate with loads of vegetables, because from the previous thing we talked about, we've reduced our portion sizes of carbohydrates, and we were told previously that if you want to be full, then you eat loads of carbohydrate, but actually that's not true. Let's reduce the carbohydrates and rather fill up with vegetables. You can see some pictures on the screen, and those are some of the foods I was eating during those times. I still eat them actually because it's part of me now. There is one vegetable you can see that is common to all the pictures that you are seeing on the screen, and that is broccoli. So broccoli has become one of my favorite vegetables because I realize that it fills me up more. And it's also a cruciferous vegetable. It is high in fiber, it is low in calories. So if you are enjoying a big bowl of broccoli, you are filling up with loads of fiber, but then less calories. I'll be sharing some of my recipes on the channel, so do well to subscribe. And my favorite for broccoli is steamed broccoli with sweet potatoes and bean sauce, and also paired with avocado. And avocado is also a healthy fat. So it will take me to my fourth point, which is eat more healthy fat and proteins. So some of the simple healthy fat that you can think of will be extra virgin olive oil, avocado, some nuts such as walnuts, and also almond. So these are things that I think you have in your kitchen that you should be incorporating in your diet. Also, be mindful that even with healthy fats, you do not want to overeat them, okay? Because too much of everything is bad. Minimize too much of processed food because they're just filled with unhealthy seed oils, and also they have lots of sugar and most of the time unhealthy preservatives. But once a while, if you need to go to the restaurants with the family, then it's okay. But even with that, you can be selective, as some restaurants nowadays offer healthy options. You also want to make sure that you are eating more protein, because protein will help you to build up strong muscles, and also repairing old cells and making new ones. You are losing weight, so it will be good that you build up your muscles and you make new cells as well. I think you know what I'm going to talk about next. Oh, you didn't get that? My fifth point is to be hydrated. Stay hydrated all the time. They say water is life, and that is true. There are lots of benefits regards to drinking water or staying hydrated whilst you're trying to lose weight. If you have to set an alarm to drink water, please do it because it will keep you hydrated and will help to get rid of all the toxic stuff from your body. I wasn't like this previously because especially those times that I'll be working in the lab, I will sometimes go around in the lab for about hours without drinking water. So nowadays, what I do is that if I realize that I have a busy schedule in the lab, I sometimes set an alarm to remind me to drink water. So it's not only water, but you can also supplement that with juices. For instance, I have two types of juices I make in my home. One is green juice and the other is red. So the green one is made from cucumber, celery, green apples, and lemons. And the red one is from the dried hibiscus flower and fruits. So the red one is popularly known as sobolo. Yeah, but I don't add sugar to that. So if you have some of these juices as well, you can drink them. For the green juice, I love to drink that early in the morning. It doesn't have sugar and it has loads of ginger as well. It's very good. You want to try that. Most of the ingredients in them are very good. For instance, the cucumber is rich in vitamins like vitamin B6 and K, and also it's got lots of minerals as well. So try as much as possible to have other fluids that are also beneficial. At this point of the video, I want you to pause it and go grab your water or your non-sugar juice. Yeah, I'll give you a few minutes to grab your bottle and let's drink water together. So now that we are back, the sixth thing is to exercise frequently or be active. So you can take a walk after dinner, you can ride a bicycle, you can walk to the shop sometimes, not always with the car or the bus, you can walk sometimes. And just a simple act of sometimes playing with the kids can be very good for your health. It's not necessarily going to the gym to do exercise. Most of the time you can actually do it in the house. Just put some song on from YouTube and just dance to it. Yeah. This video is one Saturday morning. Hobby was busy fixing us breakfast and I was also having fun. I had some music on from YouTube and I was just dancing to it. I was just exercising and making fun. Now, have enough quality sleep. Yes, I said enough quality sleep. So I'm not talking about that type of sleep where you are on the bed with the phone in your hand with all the brightness from the screen. You go to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whichever, because there are several studies that have linked poor quality sleep with weight gain. And I can now understand why it was difficult for me to lose weight when I was doing my PhD, because I was always doing my writing and preparing for presentations during the night, because most of the time in the day I'm in the lab back home taking care of the kids. I have a young one, so you can imagine sometimes they do not sleep early, so you have to wait until the child is sleeping before I can have all the time to do my schoolwork. So it's a whole lot of things that happened as busy people like us. But when you get that chance to sleep, please put the phone away. Everything needs to stop. It's sleeping time. I mentioned that I have a bonus tip when you stay to the end. So these are the bonus tips. The first one is that you don't want to eat anything after your evening meal. So one thing that happened to me was that in the initial stages, I was always very hungry right before bed. And I realized that it was because I was not eating too much. Yeah. So because I wanted to lose weight, I wanted all the results. So I was just eating little by little by little. I wasn't full. But that is the mistake that most people do. You want to make sure that you are full for that meal that you are eating. And that, I think, will lead me to this concept of intermittent fasting. I mentioned it, but I did not go much into details. And basically, intermittent fasting, you having a window where you are eating and then another window where you are not eating. So in that window where you are eating, it can be for 8 hours, it can be for 4 hours, it can be for 2 hours, where you can eat as much as possible as you want. So during that time, you want to make sure that you are full. So for me, when I go to work in the morning, I do not take my breakfast because normally I am not hungry. But in the beginning of the process, I realized that I was always hungry in the morning. And that is because I was not full the previous night. If you want to skip breakfast, then you have to make sure that you are full the previous night. Make sure you are eating healthy. You have your vegetables, you have your proteins, you have your healthy fat, and if you have a little of carbohydrate, or if none, that is also good. If you are full the previous night, then in the morning you would not be hungry. At least that is what happened to me. So assuming you skip breakfast and then you take your lunch around 2 or 3, and then maybe your early, dinner around 6, it means your eating window is between 2 and 6. Anytime after 6 will be your fasting period. That is why good quality sleep is also important, because during the time you are sleeping, you are also fasting, right? Because you are not eating. This tells us that sleeping is very important. And another tip I want to give you is that don't lose hope, because in the initial stages of this process, you would realize that the weight will be going up and down, 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 up and down. This is just your body telling you that it's recognizing that something is happening. Don't worry, don't lose hope, just continue with the process. And then finally, you would realize that your weight is coming down. So another tip is that I want you to make it as a lifestyle. Yeah, you don't want to lose weight, and then in 2 months' time, you start gaining it back. You don't want to lose weight, and then in a year's time, you're back to where you started from. If you start the process for 3 weeks and you go back to business as usual, it's not going to work. So you want to make sure that you are consistent and make it sustainable as much as possible. And that is why you have to make sure that everything you are doing is not something extraordinary. It's some of these basic things that you hear about all the time, like cutting down sugar, taking walks, reducing your portions of carbohydrate, drinking water. These things are some basic things that it's easy to follow. And the last tip I want to share is to weigh yourself weekly. We said it's a mini project, right? So we have our goal, we have our expected result, which is the weight we want to achieve, and then we had some objectives, and the objectives are the things that we want to do, which we've talked about, the 7 things. So normally in a project, you sometimes have some deliverables or milestones, milestone reports that you have to do. So in this case, our deliverable will be our weighing or our measurement. You want to do your measurement every week to monitor our progress. Let's say your weight has gone down by 2 kg, and then the next week you realize that your weight has gone up by 2 kg, then you can go back to see what happened in the week. What did you do well? What went well? What was bad? What did you eat? Maybe it's not helping your body. So you make sure that you're weighing yourself every week, Be consistent about it, because that will help you monitor your progress and also something that you can go back to. So I said I wanted to do a live demo of my weight currently. So let's get into it. Okay. So we are weighing 62.55. So we are weighing 63 now. So my current weight is approximately 63 kg, which is almost the same as my target weight that I was hoping for at the end of July 2024. So I wanted to go from 79.5 to 65 kg. So it is important that you make this a lifestyle, because it's been a couple of months after I got my target weight, but I'm still around the same weight, and that is just because I've made this a lifestyle. But one thing I want to tell you is that if you enjoy the process, you would see that it's going to be very easy for you. It's going to be part and parcel of you. I still enjoy most of my Ghanaian foods, just that I've reduced the portion sizes and filled up with vegetables, and that is what you want to do. So normally at the end of projects, you want to sit down and have a reflection and think about the whole process. What went well? What can be done better? what are some of the things that needs to be changed, what are some of the things that needs improving. So in our case, what we want to do is that because we want to maintain the current weight, we want to go back to the drawing board and make sure that we are applying all the steps day in and day out and making sure that it's part and parcel of our lives. Although projects do end, but in this particular project that we are embarking on, it's not going to end because we are making it a lifestyle. Thank you so much for staying to the end. I hope you loved the video. You've learned something new, and I hope that you are going to inculcate some of these basic things to your life. And I'm sure that if you follow the steps from the beginning till the end, then you are going to get the same results as I did. If you want to know more, then kindly subscribe to the channel and like the video so that YouTube can recommend it to other people as well. And you can also share it to your friends and family. If you have any questions, kindly put them in the comment section and I'll do well to reply. Until I see you in my next video, remember to be positive always and trust the process. It is surely going to work.